Why do you think Bill Belichick, the great Bill Belichick, keeps giving Gordon chances?
I got to admit, I think that Bill Belichick's got a softer side than most people realize. I can't believe I'm saying that. But if you really think about it, it makes sense. Who was Josh Gordon with before he got to New England, Marcus?
Cleveland.
That would be the Cleveland Browns. Who is Bill Belichick, one of the people in this entire planet closest to him? You have several people, but one of the people very close to him, from what I've been told, is the legendary Jim Brown. And Jim Brown obviously has been synonymous with the Cleveland Browns franchise for many years, and clearly he has a level of empathy and affection for Josh Gordon. And let's call this what it is. And please, 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 everybody, don't take me wrong here. I'm not being insulting in any way. I'm just speaking what appears to be factual. Josh Gordon appears to be an addict. I don't think that's beyond the pale. 2015, 2016, suspended for the entire year, violation of league substance abuse policy. We know that problems existed in college. It followed him to the pros. In 2013, when he was a 22-year-old, had 1,646 yards receiving, looked absolutely spectacular. People were calling him a Hall of Fame talent. And what have we heard about him since? Drugs, or league substance abuse issues. The last couple of times, he departed voluntarily. So this is something that plagued him when he was a kid. From the time he was 22 years old, it was there then. 23 years old and beyond. Now he's over 27 years of age. It's still here. This is what the situation is. That is his checkered past. And when you look at Bill Belichick, I know this about Mr. Kraft. Any kind of domestic violence issue, Mr. Kraft is not having that as a part of his organization. That's a non-negotiable issue. He has told me that personally himself. Domestic violence, out of the mix. You ain't going to be a member of the New England Patriots. But anything else, they take a case-by-case approach. And obviously, Bill Belichick has a lot to do with that. The only thing that makes sense to me is that Bill Belichick has a softer spot for Josh Gordon than one could possibly have fathomed. I think Jim Brown potentially has something to do with that, although I do not know. But it's the only thing that makes sense, Marcus.
Yeah, Stephen A., to your point, there are two things. I agree with you. I believe Josh Gordon is an addict. The one thing that I commend him for is owning those demons. And obviously he had a situation with the NFL where he had to be ousted once again. But here's the thing I'll go to with Bill Belichick that I don't think a lot of people think about. And when you were saying it, I started to think about it myself. Who's Bill Belichick's shining, darling player of all time? That would be one Lawrence Taylor. And Lawrence Taylor has a documented history of dealing with substance abuse and having uber talent, being arguably the greatest defensive player to ever take the field in the NFL. I believe Josh Gordon's talent obviously has put him in this situation to continue to get these chances. But I believe Bill Belichick sees some of that reminiscent of what Lawrence Taylor was as opposed to fighting his demons. Now, at that time, when Lawrence Taylor was played, there was probably there wasn't as much emphasis on guys' substance abuse and things that were happening and transpiring in the NFL. But I have to believe that because of Bill Belichick's experience with Lawrence Taylor, that this is something that he's more prone to kind of interject himself on, take on possibly a father figure role. Look at Josh Gordon for who he is and not the mistakes that he's made and the things that he's owned up to. And that could be part of why these chances continually happen. Now, as far as the NFL and reinstatement, I don't know why the NFL continues to reinstate him. Maybe because he has owned up to those demons that he's fought for so long. But I agree. I think Josh Gordon is an addict. He continues to work on himself, and you just don't know what to expect because you don't know what he's going to go through throughout the course of a football season.
The reason why the name Jim Brown comes to my mind, Marcus, before Lawrence Taylor is because Lawrence Taylor played for Bill Belichick. Josh Gordon had his problems before he ever arrived to Bill Belichick. So I'm wondering and looking for a reason or a rationale as to why you would take a chance on him, although he's ultra talented, and that's an obvious answer to it, considering the structured environment that Bill Belichick runs and how you're trying to find and discover dudes to be able to depend on. The one thing, and again, no insult, he's an addict in my mind, but the one thing that we can never accuse Josh Gordon of is being dependable.
Yeah.
Reliable.
You're absolutely
That's just
right.
a fact. In his NFL career, the one thing that's the ultimate indictment against him and his battles, his demons, is that it leaves him to be somebody you can't depend on because you never know when a relapse is going to occur. We don't know how bad the situation has been over the last couple of times, but we do know it was bad enough for him to walk away himself. Ladies and gentlemen, the man walked away. The New England Patriots have been to 3 straight Super Bowls. They've won 2 of them. Josh Gordon could have been a part of all of those things, and he wasn't because of these demons.
And Stephen A,
so
to
I
your-
look at it from that
Can I-
perspective, and I'm saying, damn, that's what it is.
Let me throw one other thing at you, and obviously I know it's different, but just from pass catcher standpoint, Marcus, do you think part of it is also they don't have Gronk? And even though he hasn't been available the whole season, he does kind of know the system. So it's just like, we got nothing to lose. Let's see what this guy's got purely from a talent perspective and just having another body out there.
Absolutely, Molly. And to that point, like I was about to get to the foundation of this. The foundation of this is that Josh Gordon, when available, has been a generational talent. And that is another reason why he gets chances. We know that your talent makes room for some of your disparities or discrepancies. We just had a long conversation about Antonio Brown. If Antonio Brown wasn't Antonio Brown, he'd have been out of the league a long time ago. So this is a part of that narrative that Josh Gordon's talent is very high when you compare it to everybody else that plays the position.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, highlights, and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.